Hello, children, parents, teachers, and all the well wishers. Welcome back to another important tip for your examination preparation. This is effective reading. Effective reading. Reading mostly two kinds: one, loud reading, another, silent reading. Usually for the primary, upper primary, secondary, loud reading always, so that children will not be distracted. And when you come to the high school, senior secondary and the graduation, silent reading is more effective. We think like that. My suggestion, one small point I want to give to all the students who are preparing for the examination: when you take your textbook, suppose if you're preparing a notebook or a material or a printed one, it is only the notes which you're giving a second reading because you have already done that. But for the first time, if you're reading, if you're preparing, your textbook is the main source. Always remember, this is the first tip I would like to give for all my students and all others. Your text, do not neglect your text. If you want to be knowledgeable, if you really want to learn something new, your text is your first friend, and along with the text, a pencil. So have these two all the time with you. Whatever, maybe mathematics, maybe social science or English, any language, text and pencil. And I suggest when you read, loud reading, make sure that no one, if you're in your room, loud reading is allowed. But if you're in the classroom, how can you be reading loudly? So even when you're doing a loud reading, I want you to consciously put an effort. When you read loudly, I have found few of the students and few of the people, they just read giving one kind of rhythm and hum. For example, they just start reading portrait of like nothing, the sound comes, but the words are not clear. They read as if, some chanting kind where the word is not clear. I suggest, my dear students, when you read, make sure that what you read is very clear, so that what you read you should be able to hear, but that hear is not just not paying attention, but pay attention. The hearing, when you pay attention, is called listening. What you read, listen carefully. What you listen definitely goes into your mind, into your brain, and it retains. During the examination, when you try to recollect the information what you read, definitely will be effective, and you can recollect and you can write in the examination. Silent reading also, as long as you're not distracted, you're paying more attention to it, your concentration levels are high. Yes, silent reading also is very very efficient and effective. I suggest both for all my students: loud reading, silent reading. But always remember, when you read, have a note making. Underline the word. Try to know the meaning. If you don't know the meaning, immediately look up to your dictionary. Have your own notes. Underline, round, make a jot down of simple points over there, so that just before examination, when you open your textbook, you can know what you have underlined. Because when you are giving the first reading, it is very important that you might have underlined some important points. Those important points will make an effective answer in your examination. This kind of reading will help you. And once you read a particular topic, a particular question, give a small gap, a pause. Don't continuously read. One answer, suppose, what is this particular historic event you have read? Maybe a historic event, freedom of India, maybe 1947, what had happened before that. You're reading it. Just give a pause. Question yourself what you have read. The questioning of what you have read and trying to say the answer for yourself. Imagine that there's someone in front of you. You're trying to explain what you have read. That is an effective kind of reading. I want you to take this point. Either a silent reading or a loud reading, But when you underline, when you make a point, when you make a note of what you read, after reading it, give a small pause, a small break. And in that break, try to recollect what you have read. Try to say the answer. Question yourself, what did I read now? Is it about the freedom of India? How the freedom struggle, or who are the freedom fighters? Then you say the answer to yourself as if you're saying answer to your friend, or you're saying answer to your mother or father, or saying answer to your teacher. In such a way, if you practice, I tell you, you will never forget what you read throughout your life. That remains in your brain cells so effectively. Whenever anything comes with regard to this particular topic, anytime, not just necessarily during examination, anytime in your career, anytime in your study, during the study time of your study years of your life, you can recollect what you read. This important reading tip is will help you a lot, my dear students. I want everybody to take this sincerely. Have your textbook all the time. Have your pencil all the time. Underline, round off, make a note. This is after all your textbook. Don't worry, someone may scold you because you're writing in your textbook. No, it is your text. You make a note of it. No one will admonish you because you have done something on your papers of textbook. Take it, personalize your textbook. Underline by and don't memorize, don't my heart, don't mug up. That is the wrong way of reading. Whatever you read, try to have an understanding of the topic. You can memorize the poetic lines. You can memorize any definition. You can memorize a quote, but don't memorize the answer. Don't memorize the story. It's a wrong way of learning. I want all of you to think about this technique of reading. If you read effectively, you can recollect very perfectly. You will never go wrong in any of the point when you recollect and answer your question paper. Keep all these things in mind. Be blessed. Have a nice day.